Did you know at the end of the day, there are only 3 ways that you can earn interest? And today, we're talking about all of them.
Just start saving. We're going to change your world.
What is up, everybody? I hope you're doing well, and welcome to the Money Summit. My name is Dallas. I am a financial professional helping business owners and their businesses, as well as individuals, with retirement planning and achieving their Money Summit. And today, we're talking about 3 different ways that your money actually earns interest. And there are thousands of different types of accounts these days, different sorts of allocations that you can have, different providers, all these different things. But really, it comes down to 3 different ways that your money can actually earn interest. The first way, and probably the most common way that people can earn interest, is through a variable account. Variable. Now this goes across stock markets, this goes across real estate, this goes across cards that you can trade. Wherever the value or interest rate is varying, and we're going to get in more detail of a few different options more pertaining to retirement and investing. But when it comes to earning interest on a variable spectrum, those are considered variable items, variable accounts, variable assets per se. The second, and probably second most common way these days to earn interest, is a fixed rate. This is where you're earning a fixed set of rate no matter what the market's doing, no matter what the real estate is doing, no matter what the world is doing. You're getting a guaranteed fixed rate dependent on the contract that you have in place with whatever the provider, whatever the product, whatever the item is at a fixed rate. And again, we're going to go into more details about what options you have for fixed rates. The third way that you can earn interest is what's called a fixed indexed, or a indexing strategy. This is one that incorporates a guaranteed fixed rate as well as upside of the potential, specifically when it comes to different indexes across the stock markets. And at its core, those are the 3 ways that you can actually earn interest. And within those 3 ways, there are a variety of options that you can have, but at its core, there are 3 options. Now, I want to get into some details as to what options you have within these 3 elements, within these 3 strategies per se, as to what you can have. I firmly believe that everyone can benefit from having one of these 3 options, if not all 3 of these options. I specialize in more of the fixed and fixed index, but we're also going to talk about some variable options and what you have available as well. And we're specifically talking about retirement savings, investing. I'm not going to go to details about real estate or trading cards or sneakerheads. You know, that's a variable world. Well, I guess we'll just talk about it right there. That's a variable market. Prices go up, prices go down depending on what's cool, what's in pop culture, what's going on, and you're going to buy and maybe sell higher, maybe sell lower depending on what the market's doing, because it varies, right? So that being said, let's jump into the variable side of things and what you can have on the investment side and or retirement side for planning and savings for the future. In the variable world, the most common thing that people will have is some sort of mutual fund. Now that mutual fund will be within an IRA, a Roth IRA, its own non-qualified account where you're just paying taxes on the interest earned. The mutual fund can be inside of a variety of different tactics or strategies or tax codes, if you will. And that mutual fund is usually encompassed with straight stocks, different indexing, different types of money markets, and sometimes some fixed rates. So you can have some fixed rates, bonds, CDs, whatever. Maybe not CDs, but you can have fixed rates within a mutual fund. Now, I can't speak completely for mutual funds. I don't use those. I don't provide those for my clients. But you get the idea. Mutual fund has a variety of things, and when your money is within stocks, different indexes, things like that, your money will vary, and that's why it is considered a variable asset. It will earn interest with the upside of the market, and it will lose money on the downside of the market. It will vary. Does that make sense? Now, within all 3 of these strategies, you can have IRAs, Roth IRAs, 403Bs, sometimes even 401Ks. Really just depends on your financial professional, your advisor, who you're talking to. If you have questions about some of these, get with your financial person if you haven't already. And if you don't have a financial person, my contact information is down below. Get on my calendar. Let's talk. I'll help answer your questions and get you going on a path leading you to your Money Summit. Now let's jump into the second strategy. And this is a far more simple, less complex strategy, and that's the fixed rate. Most fixed rates will be provided from banks or different type of governmental bonds. So you've probably heard of bonds, CDs, things of that nature. Usually you're going to get a 3 to 6% rate these days, but those are coming down. The feds have lowered interest rates. When the governmental or when the feds lower interest rates, the banks will lower their interest rates as well. So people who've been earning 5-6% interest in their CDs will no longer be seeing that. It's probably going to go down. How far, I don't know. We'll see what the feds say next time they have a report, and whether or not they're increasing, decreasing, and that will affect everyone's bank accounts, high yield savings, CD accounts. Those types of fixed rate options will fluctuate depending on how the overall economy is doing, but you are guaranteed a fixed rate. So let me give you an example. If the market is screaming going 20+% on the upside, and you have a guarantee of 4.5%, you're going to get 4.5%. Now, if the market's tanking, everyone's losing everything they have, the market's just blowing up, it's 50% plus loss, you're still going to get 4.5%, given we're all still around in the economy and the world is still alive and the banks are still around. More importantly, you will get a 4.5% return on that money. Now on to the third strategy, the less common strategy, but my favorite, and this is what I help people with all the time, and this is called the fixed indexed strategy. So how it works is when the market goes up, you're going to get a portion of those gains on the upside. When the market goes down, it kind of switches to a fixed rate of usually 0% minimum. You can have upwards of 2, 3, 4% as a fixed rate. But generally speaking, at a minimum, it's going to be a fixed rate of 0. Now, you're not making much with 0% interest, right? But you're not losing what you have in place. So that's why it's called a fixed indexed. So on the upside of the market, let's say the market goes up 20% this year, you might get anywhere from 10 to 15% on that upside, but if it goes negative 30% next year, you keep that 10 to 15% gain and you have a return of 0 for that next year. Within this fixed indexed strategy concept, you can have a variety of accounts like I've mentioned with all of these strategies. Roth IRAs, traditional IRAs, simple IRAs for small business employees, SEP IRAs for business owners, the list goes on. You can virtually use this fixed index strategy within a multitude of tax codes. That's what those are called, tax codes. Traditional IRAs, Roth IRAs, profit sharing plans. There's a lot of options you have. One of my favorite is actually to use life insurance, specifically in what is called an IUL, or an indexed universal life. This allows you to earn interest on the upside and have a guarantee no loss. When the market goes down, you stay level again at that 0%. What I like about this so much is that any money that you're putting in there, you have less limits, like the Roth IRA or the traditional IRA. There's limits as to how much you can put in there. With the Roth IRA, there's limits as to how much you can make as far as a salary, if you can even contribute to a Roth IRA. And there's limits on access. When you're putting money into a life insurance policy, it's tax-free. There's no limit as to how much you want to put in there. It just has to be structured properly from the beginning. And you can access money way before 59 and a half when available and structured properly. Again, I have a whole nother video about that. I posted one recently, and I'm sure I'll be posting some more about how to access money within life insurance and how to get it tax-free, because there's a lot of information about it out there. Some of it's right, some of it's wrong. So we'll kind of set it straight when it comes to accessing money for life insurance. But those are the 3 ways money can earn interest: variable, fixed, fixed index. My favorite's the fixed index. Now, how everyone can use this in a scenario: fixed index is perfect for retirement savings specifically. Money you're setting aside that you cannot afford to lose in the future because you're relying on it for the rest of your life, okay? A fixed rate's really good for CDs, savings accounts, quick access money that you can have. Even if it's within a 1-year CD or whatever, you can still access that money. You just are limited on how much of the interest earned you can actually access. So a fixed rates savings, high yield savings, a CD, that's really good to have for an emergency fund or vacation savings, things of that nature. And then strategy 1, the variable world, I call that the play bucket. This is where you can play with money. This is money you can technically afford to lose because the other 2 have been taken care of. Your savings account's good. Your fixed index retirement account is good. And then you have extra $500 a month that you just want to roll with or play with. You could throw that into some high yield, or not high yield, but some high risk mutual funds or stocks, and see if you can get that upside. What's great about that is when you get that upside, cash out, take care of the taxes and fees on that, and then store it in the fixed or fixed index so you can secure those gains and not lose when the market goes down. Now, That's way easier said than done. Even the top gurus of the world have a hard time capturing all the gains all the time on the upside of the market. So I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm kind of going on now. I've changed my scenery a little bit. I kind of went off kilter. If you made it this far in the video and you see a difference and you like it, let me know. If not, you can also let me know, I guess. So, but anyway, I hope everyone has a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon.